I started this week by writing about the US power grid and the pretty rapid transformation that's ongoing there. What I did was looked at new additions and retirements for the power grid over the previous 12 months and compared that to the prior 12 months. And what we're seeing is the rate at which we're adding solar power and renewable energy storage capacity to the grid is phenomenal. There's more solar being added than all other capacity combined. So those two sources are growing the most. We're seeing wind being pretty steady, even though wind's had a very rough past 12 months. We added about the same amount of wind in the past 12 months as we did in the prior 12 months. We also added natural gas, but it just came way down and less than half of the capacity added in the past 12 months that we added in the prior period. And of course, we didn't add any coal. On the retirement side, we're seeing de minimis retirements across renewables, pretty meaningful retirements in the natural gas space. Enough so that in the past 12 months, net there was no capacity additions in natural gas on the U.S. power grid, and we're seeing a lot of retirements on the coal side, which we've continued to see for a while. My second post was a YouTube video that was a 1976 interview with M. King Hubbert, who used to be a researcher at Shell and then worked for the federal government and was well known for his peak oil theories and analyses. And in this 1976 interview, he walks through a lot of his analysis and how he arrived at his peak oil production conclusions. And it's a pretty interesting demonstration of the kinds of analysis you can do from first principles when it comes to natural resource extraction. He discusses coal and oil and natural gas, and he closes the video with a discussion of solar power and why it's so important to try to ramp up the rate of use of solar power, given the fact that hydrocarbon resources are finite. My third post of the week was about U.S. refining. We got the newest annual refining capacity report from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. And it's a big report. It has a ton of really great, interesting information in it. And in my post, I looked at the top 10 largest refineries in the U.S. What we see is when we zoom out to the whole U.S. refining landscape, there is a 68-32 distribution, not 80-20, but 68-32, where if you rank refineries from largest to smallest, the top 30% of U.S. refineries, 32% of U.S. refineries, have 68% of the total capacity. And the other 68% of refineries have the remaining 32% of capacity. So we see the U.S. refining landscape is skewed toward these larger plants, and that's why I wanted to highlight the 10 largest. Of those 10, 8 are on the Gulf Coast, which I've had a series of posts over the past few weeks that are all gesturing in different ways toward why the U.S. Gulf Coast is so important when it comes to the notion of our continued use of hydrocarbons into the future and all of the advantages that the Gulf Coast has. My last post on social media for the week was launching Foundations of Energy, which is my Substack newsletter that I designed as a learning and development resource for energy professionals. If you're new to energy, if you're further along in your career, but you're transitioning into energy or switching from one energy subsector to the next, or if you're just a first principles thinker and want to build up a solid integrated foundation of energy knowledge, then you're a perfect fit for who I built the Foundations of Energy for. And this week, like every week, I posted 2 Foundations of Energy posts. I went much deeper into the power grid transformation and into the U.S. refining landscape. And in those posts, I start from the beginning. We go through more vocabulary. I offer more context. I don't have the character limits that I do when I post on social media. And so it's a great way to explore those topics more thoroughly. And like I said, to really try to connect the dots on what each topic might mean in terms of the broader energy system. And we're just going to keep doing that week by week as we go through the year. It allows us to cover current events, emerging events on the energy side as they come up. And we can take deeper dives and be more exploratory and really build the effort into it to make sure that we have an integrated foundation of knowledge across all of these energy systems. Each weekend, I send out a free weekly newsletter with links to all the stuff that I publish on social media and in the Foundations of Energy. I also include an energy-related anecdote insider observation. So even if you've seen all the stuff that I've shared online, you will still have something new to read in the newsletter. If you've not subscribed to that, I will put a link down below. I definitely encourage you to do it. I hope you had a fantastic week, and we will talk soon.